So I was listening back to the last short I made, and I realized something that I don't hear many people talking about. You can actually change your solos and make them sound way better without ever changing a single note. Truth is, it's not always the notes that are bad. It's sometimes the rhythm section underneath it. So when I made my last short video, it was a bit more on the humorous side. I used my green screen, had a little bit of fun playing guitar in space because why not? And when it started, I just used a very basic 4-chord rhythm section. Just, again, Logic's AI drums, no issue there. I picked the tempo I liked, and then I just started working on it. And after I developed some of the phrasing, I started changing up the rhythm section a little bit, adding stops and pauses
for dramatic effect.
And then even taking it to just totally changing it and climbing up scale with those chords to give it some real movement. And to kind of put some of the icing on the cake, I took some of the easier phrasing, especially in the parts where momentum was building, and I matched those same exact notes and patterns on the bass. Suddenly, that exact same solo sounded 10 times more emotional, and I hadn't touched a single note of it. So let's head over to the computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we are, got the Logic session pulled up here. And by the way, if you want to see the whole video, there's a link in the description. Just follow that. You can check that out. So what we have here, is your standard Logic project. Here is the drum track. Just give you an example of this. Again, didn't put a lot of time or thought into this. Just kind of selected their AI drumming, and that was good to go. Here is my lead section. Okay, bass guitar, rhythm guitar. So you'll see I have 2 bass guitars and 2 rhythm guitars. This is to give you that A-B example of what this thing sounds like, very basic, and what it sounds like when you are a little more intentional with it. So just to start off, let's listen to the very basic version of this, and then I'll stop and sort of explain some things. So stop there. Again, there's nothing wrong with this. This does not sound bad. But just to give you an example here, let's switch it over. You could see sort of in the waves here, this is where the stopping patterns were. This to me sounds honestly a million times better, and all I did was just cease playing for these gapped sections. Pretty easy thing to come up with. That was very easy, and it just really changes the sound of things. And again, to listen to it without it, again, not bad, but So this section right here, if I play this with the basic track, okay, again, not bad, but what I did in the final recording was I changed from the original 4 chords to a climbing scale pattern, and that really just creates all the movement you need in this section. So here's the difference. And that builds, as it climbs up, it builds momentum to this very last section. I'm going to play the basic one again. We'll go through to the very end, and then I'm just going to switch back over to the other one so you can hear the difference. So very, very clearly, the winner is this one that you just listened to. And again, there's nothing super incredible happening here, but there's just small things you can do to make your solo stand out. Again, these solo notes are exactly the same. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changing is the rhythm section underneath. I did do some things to really emphasize those solo notes. So if we listen to the solo and the bass guitar, for example, I have the bass guitar really follow this solo just for a couple notes, but it's right at this crescendo of this climb. But little nuances like that are going to be what makes your solo stand out. Again, just to hear that with the rhythm and the drums. Alright, so there you have it. If you'd like to see more videos about how I use Logic or just some of the other things I did, instruments I played, just let me know in the comments and I'll make something for you. So the takeaway today is sometimes your solo isn't the problem. You just need a more dynamic rhythm section to make this thing soar. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe to get more of this content. Thanks.